In other news, tonight we are devoting time to a subject every parent needs to know about: autism.
It is a neurological disorder which typically is discovered in the first 3 years of life. The Centers for Disease Control says 1 in every 150 children is autistic, and that's more than those who have childhood cancer, juvenile diabetes, and mental retardation. The CDC also says boys are 4 times more likely to be autistic than girls. Some reports show autism costs us about $90 billion a year. The Autism Society of America estimates in 10 years the annual cost of autism will be between $200 and $400 billion. Now, the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends all children undergo an autism screening at 18 and 24 months.
But what happens after a diagnosis? NBC 15's Aaron Koskovich caught up with the Madison family to learn how the disorder affects their lives. Aaron?
Well, Lee and John, early on, the Immendorf family wasn't exactly sure why their son wasn't talking, had tantrums, and sometimes had physically destructive behaviors. By the time he was 2.5 years old, they got an autism diagnosis. Since that time, they've been living with autism.
Will Immendorf is your typical boy.
I'm 11.
He likes animals, he likes video games, and he enjoys making ceramics, artwork, and learning how to play the violin and piano. But Will loves computers.
I'm the computer specialist in the family.
All his interests seem pretty normal for an 11-year-old boy, but there's something most people wouldn't guess about Will. He's autistic.
We first suspected something was going on around his 2nd birthday, but it took about 6 months to get the final diagnosis.
The Immendorf started Will in intensive in-home therapy, and Will also got therapy at school. Over time, he went from a nonverbal 2.5-year-old to this.
I want to be both a programmer and a president of a computer company.
That was really important to teach him ways to communicate that we could understand.
There's been many hurdles along the way.
We had the television on at a normal level. He would go up there and turn it down until it showed 1 bar, and then he would come and sit.
What was barely audible to most people, Will hears loud and clear.
One day we thought, why don't we try earplugs and see if earplugs will help? And that was a huge day for us.
Will also operates better when there's a plan.
So we plan.
Mother said straight ahead, not to delay or be misled.
Schedules help Will know what to expect and reduce tantrums. It's something that also helps Will at school.
He thrives on routine and predictability, and if things get changed, that's really difficult for him.
So every day there's a schedule on the board. At 10:10, his class goes to music.
Nice is different than good.
At 10:40, the class comes back, and they begin writing.
I wanted you to go up there and make a correction on that sentence. Would you do that?
Will is fully integrated into the classroom.
They treat him the same, and they accommodate the same, too, as they would other people, that if they see somebody in need of something, they'll rise to the occasion and help him out.
Will has an individualized education plan. It outlines when special accommodations need to be made for Will, and it also helps teachers and his parents track his progress.
We've been teaching him through both school and home. We've been teaching him self-regulation.
That means when Will is feeling frustrated or overwhelmed, he needs to take a break. Because when he doesn't, he reverts to awkward or inappropriate behavior.
You might, voice aloud, sound or something like that, that that he's in distress or stuck.
Will be the first one to say, I have autism and I do this because of this.
Will's differences are something that's discussed, not to ridicule, but to raise awareness and even highlight.
The other kids comment about, well, why don't we ask Will what he will do, because we know he will do something extravagant or special.
From school to home, Will's uniqueness is celebrated and encouraged.
It's going to be called the Will Immendorf Company.
One day he hopes everyone will be using Will computers, built and programmed by himself.
I have going PCs with dummies.
That's where some of our greatest innovations and inventions have come from, is from those people who aren't constrained by social norms.
While Will has autism,
they develop and grow, just like every other child does.
He's got hobbies, he's got goals.
Don't just give up on your dream, pursue it.
And he's got special talents, just like everyone else.
He really is a special kid, not because of his autism, but because he's Will.
There are a lot of kids out there like Will. Again, the Centers for Disease Control says about 1 in every 150 children have autism. The problem for many families is that once they get an autism diagnosis, they get on wait lists for treatment or shell out tens of thousands of dollars for therapy.
And this story, Aaron, was very encouraging for a lot of families.
And I learned a lot about autism I didn't know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aaron.
Well, when we come back, we'll take a closer look at the treatment options for families struggling with autism.